Hello, welcome. Right now we're doing Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker Pandæmonium raids. And yeah, let's get to it. The Sixth Circle, Abyssos. Though I don't respond to chat for a little bit, it's just because I'm focused on the fight. Prometheus, Hegemon. Oh, this song. Whew. Hell yeah. As to be expected, Erythernos appears quite pleased with our victory. I could sense from here that Hegemon had been contained. The effect of... Hold on. The effect of Hestimos' tinkering is even more dire than I had imagined. We've won. The keyword is sealed away and alive this time. La Abrea can't deny us now. Why didn't my currency go up though? Did it go up? Did it only go up by 10? Wait. Am I able to... Oh, let me continue this first. Our plan was a success, although I can hardly tell you that. Hegemon has been sealed away, and now you have no choice but to admit the merit in our methods. You have the right of it. I am not so petty as to deny the achievements of those I've squabbled with, no matter how strong we disagree. Moreover, this being Aether as thin as retreating mist, unable to wield creation magics, yet powerful enough to subdue Emethios, has made this ordeal far more interesting. Then we have leave to continue. As for that, there is one among you whose very presence put the others at risk. 'Twould be best to proceed without him, for failure would have consequences that reach far beyond Pandæmonium. And of whom do you speak? A warder who cannot even conduct his duty without aid. In this place, hope alone is not enough to overcome what awaits you. A single misstep will send all to their doom. So long as we each do our part and look to the allies by our side, even a Nephite can upraise its companions. That's something that Yo and Themis taught me. While I do not wish to express my bias, I am inclined to agree. If my investigation has made anything clear, it is that we are together greater than the sum of our parts. And hope has brought us this far. It drives us to seek the right path, and to act that path before that path lies close to us. Then tell me, what is it you hope for? To see Hephaestus in chains. That's the surest way to prevent further sacrifices. I'm aware that destroying Pandæmonium would rid us of him, but the cost is far too great. And I admit, I wish to know how he means to resurrect Athena. And there we have it. You must leave this place at once, and do not think to set foot in Pandæmonium again. You are capable, that much is plain, yet Hephaestus cannot be suffered to live, and I shall not allow his talk of resurrection to poison mine or anyone else's mind. Life flows in a cycle, this is known. All souls return to the underworld, and Athena's is no exception. She has likely found a new vessel and a new journey to embark upon. You cannot be ignorant to the folly of Hephaestus' words. Even were he to breathe life into a body, the soul contained within would not be your mother's. What if our knowledge is imperfect? What if Hephaestus has discovered something that no one else has? He knows all that you do, understands the bitter reality of the world. He wouldn't pursue the impossible. Think, Erytheonos. Yes. I have already explained that he is merely my twisted reflection. Is it worth bringing back your mother if it means others are used and discarded like tools? Is it worth it to see her once more? Now you measure the worth of your colleagues' lives? What was that foolish praying about saving them? Merely a performance to hide your childish devotion to your mother? Please, such barbs will get us nowhere. We should first discuss. You would call me fool. You murdered your wife in service of your ambition, for the sake of the star, no doubt. Ugh, I can hear it again, that voice inside my head. I know who to follow. Hephaestus, father. Mother, oh, I love you so, and this voice will guide me to you. No, listen not, Erytheonos. Apologies, you tell me that a calm heart stays the course, but I could never even grasp the rudder. This was Hephaestus' work, there can be no doubt. It seems he learned from his previous failure. His Pharos is cunning despite his warped mind. Whatever took hold of Eric and Thanos, it made short work of his reason. From the moment he laid eyes upon me, I could sense his hatred and rage shimmering below the surface. 'Twas but a matter of time until it spilled forth, and that was when he fell into the spell's embrace. A magic woven with such skill that Aaron Thonos himself failed to notice until it was too late. If this is a measure of Hephaestus' power, then the other keywords had little chance to resist it. We saw his work during our encounter with Hephaestus. Doubtless Hephaestus' magics fed his admiration and envy until there was room for naught else in his heart. And there was something else besides. Did you not feel the presence of another? As I thought, someone was trying to warn Thonos, but whom? Could it have been one of the keywords? Alas, their warning arrived too late. I had already provoked Thonos' past to the point of no return. I bear the burden for this failure. In my stubbornness, I couldn't but scorn the boy, and Hephaestus knew that. And now I dread to think of the ordeal that awaits him due to my rashness. There is time yet to save him. We can easily regain control of Abyssos, given us a firm foothold from which to brave Pandæmonium lowest level. The enemy is within reach. Just as with Hesperus, Erythanthos is in danger of being consumed by Hesperus' spell. However, I have faith that he will not so easily lose sight of himself. The way forward is clear. La Abrea, pray tell us all you know of what we shall find beyond Abyssos. I can only assume one more keyword lies in wait. The deepest level of Pandæmonium is called Taros, and your passage shall be challenged not only by a keyword. As Phados has laid traps in every corner of its halls, you have no hope of surviving far past the threshold. That I expect is where Yo shall shine. Her dissolute ether shall allow her to slip through the traps unattended. We saw it when Hephaestus had no effect, and doubtless even has yet to devise a countermeasure. Then time is of the essence. Hephaestus is already well aware that you can match a keyword in battle. He will not stand idle while you stroll past his other defenses at your leisure. Agreed. However, clarity will be indispensable to our success, and I'm afraid I must insist upon it ere we depart. We have yet to discern to what end Hephaestus would use Thonos. If you know, I would ask that you enlighten us. And then there is the matter of Athena. Why do you so fiercely rebuke the Archdanos' feelings for his mother? While I understand the very thought of resurrecting the dead is anathema, you act as if grief over her passing should be equally so. How are we to grapple with what plagues our friend and drives our foe if you refuse to acknowledge it? I do acknowledge it. I wish only to spare those that feel it is still greater pain. So instead of being honest, you bicker like a child. How dare you? No, no, you are right. The blame of Eridanos' fate rests squarely on my shoulders. Very well. I shall bear the truth, but only after the foe before us has been laid low. The remaining keyword is Adistis. She has served in Pandæmonium since its inception, and her affinity for magic is peerless even among the keywords. Hephaestus knows that losing her would mean the end of his experiments. He has hidden her in a space unreachable by conventional means. But your presence makes mockery of such barriers. The scarcity of your ether means it will be trivial to send you directly to Adegis. We shall approach as closely as caution will allow. We know where the battle will commence, so I do not anticipate difficulty in detecting your presence. From afar, I shall do my best to provide you with the ground on which to fight, and phantom allies to aid you. As for your interment, I have yet to think of a foolproof method. Interment shall not be necessary. From here I can sense Agis's essence, but it's scarcely recognizable. Hephaestus was more ambitious with her than he was with Hegemon. She has been transfigured such that barely a scantling of herself remains. We can but take comfort in what a mercy the underworld will be to her. Damn. I sense that Hephaestus has come close to perfecting his image of Hemphelios, which means his research is in its final stage. I shall establish control of Abyssos while keeping an eye on your battle. When the dust is settled, Hephaestus will have nowhere left to flee. Yes! 606. Wow, really? 606. Okay. That means I can do this too. And... okay, not that one yet. But okay. Yes, I can continue the main story. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do one more of these, maybe two more actually. I'm like 2 away from beating this raid. Or 2/3 of a raid. Alright. I'll be right back. Please don't give up. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else? Yes, I know actually. Yeah. So I'll be right back with this raid trial. Raid trial. Yeah. Okay. And we're back. Wow. Jesus. Fucking brutal. I love it. Oh. Fuck. Well, shit. We got through it though. Good team. I got some damage in though, I'm happy. Uh, I'm actually doing better than I thought I would be. I'm starting to get it a little better now. The moment Aegisthus was slain, the flow of ether and Pandæmonium focused keenly on this location, creating a tunnel of sorts through which we could quickly convey ourselves. 'Twas almost as if we were ushered here. This place was created with care and concealed with powerful wards. Only a keyword would have been able to detect it, and even with the great difficulty, ergo, if only I could restore Tartaros to order, but I'm afraid this is the most I can manage with such power as remains to me. It has been too long, Master La Brea. Likewise, keyword Adjectus. I should not be surprised you were able to break free of Hasfidos' spell, even diminished as you were. 'Twas not an easy task, even with your aid. His curses dig into one's heart, creating a storm of emotion that is all too easy to become lost in. Only by chance did a fragment of myself remain, illuminating a path through the madness. And thus am I able to appear before you now, even while my body was powerless to resist Hephaestus' commands. Even small part of my logical mind stood alone in defiance. It even managed to speak to the outside world. The report, that was you. Doubtless you recognize my voice from the many times I have called out to you. The hopes that those pleas would not fall on deaf ears was all that kept me from succumbing to hopelessness. But I have a greater purpose here than simply saying my farewells. There is something you must know, something that the tragedies of the past do not repeat in the present. Forgive me for what I am about to do, Master La Brea, but the story must be told. 'Tis the only way to understand Hephaestus' fixation on Aristogelanos. No longer can you hide your heart away. If Astos, no, the mask marks him as La Brea. Master La Brea had brought an end to Lady Athena's life and sealed away a part of his memories and emotions within Hasvados. These are my recollections of the moments following. And you truly have no intention of revealing the truth to Ersthen Thonios? My lesser half is now buried where none can find it. We would be wise to do the same with our memory of this day. Blood should not sway the spirit so, but Athena's teachings have warped the boy. I fear he would see our star burn to keep his mother safe. Onios believes that he feels love, but he is shackled by dependence. He could not bear the truth. His dependence makes it all the more important to be open with him. He will seek answers about his mother's loss, which shall inevitably lead him to you. Are you willing to accept the blame for Athena's death? Are you willing to accept your son's hatred? If that is what comes to pass, then so be it. Better to be burdened with hatred than the knowledge that Athena thought his body and soul were mere tools to be used and discarded. Even were I to tell him what his mother plotted, he would ever seek reasons to believe that the true fault lies with me, or with him. Should he merely hate me, he will remain unfettered by doubt, free to serve the star far from his parents' shadow. Aaron Thonos beloved his mother more than life itself, and yet, what a dreadful truth you have borne all this time. Such is La Brea's nature. Every action, every word, a solution to life's great dilemmas, and none to spare for his own. What I have revealed to you is but a small portion of a larger picture. I shall leave it to La Habrea to paint the rest for you, and for Aaron Onios, I hope. Thank you, Act this. I always admired you, you know. What choice did I have when you sacrificed so much to guide our star to the heavens? Hephalos has doubtless sensed that his final keyword has fallen. We should return to the surface before he moves to strike us here. If we are to face him, we must be prepared to bring our full strength to bear. It was Erychinthonios' hatred of his father that caused him to fall victim to Hesperos' magics, yet the roots of the hatred were born from a son's love. A love nurtured not by a mother's caring for her offspring, but by a researcher creating the ideal test subject. Pandæmonium abounds with demons indeed. Agis was ever a bold woman, even in her final moments, that she would unearth the secrets of my past for all to look upon. Still, full glad I am that she faced you as her last opponent. I could think of none more worthy to send her soul off to the other side. The vision you saw told the story far more eloquently than I ever could. Athena was consumed by her research and was willing to sacrifice her own child if it hastened her progress. She did not offer him a position here out of a sense of love or pride. 'Twas merely because she knew he would be the most liable test subject. I see now why you hid the truth from him. I cannot say with certainty that Thonios could handle the weight of such betrayal, after holding his mother on a pedestal for so long. Unfortunately, it seems not even her death has ensured his safety. Hephaestus has taken up Athena's research and succeeded in creating Hemithoi. I know not what his ultimate end is, but 'tis plain it is connected with the resurrection of Athena. That knowledge alone is sufficient to direct our next course of action. As for the rest of your story, we shall hear it after we have returned Thonios to safety, in accordance with Agis' last wish. Very well. I can at least assure you that finding him shall prove relatively simple now that Hephaestus can no longer bend Pandæmonium to his will. There is but one place left for him to find refuge, the black heart of Tartaros, where Athena built her testing compound. We can assume that Hephaestus will offer fierce resistance. I must focus my every effort on securing a safe means of approach. La Brea, I would ask that you assume the duty of summoning Eos Phantom Warriors. I have no objections. My ability to fight with Tartaros would be greatly diminished in any case. However, I wish to deal with the final blow to Hephaestus myself. There is no need to dirty your hands with such a deed. I take it, then, that you have no intent to seal him away as before. The presence I felt when I encountered Hephaestus bore little resemblance to the entity I created. By his own hand he has become something far more wicked, and the same magics that once shackled him may very well shatter before the power he wields. On my pride as a researcher, I am loath to repeat the same mistake twice. I would not see these events play out again, and so he must be extinguished. Well, then, I shall open the way forward. May we finish this together? If Hesperos truly means to continue Athena's research, then Archthonos is indispensable to his goals. He is safe, but for how much longer I cannot say. The end is in sight. Return to me safely, friend. Okay. Eighth circle. Fuck yeah. Alright. I'll be right back. Just gonna go to the restroom. Okay. We're back with the raid. The last of the raids for this third of the Pandæmonium raids. Last of the Abyssos. The 8th Circle. World Unsundered.
Ericthonios is mine, heart and soul, and with your death, none will be left to stop me.
Voice acting. Esphatos. Perfect imperfection. Oh, interesting, it's a different color because it's a different guy helping me.
Rest eternal in the dark depths of this prison. From fulgent flame my servants rise. Out of my sight! Leave naught but ash in your wake. Let seep sorrow into your heart. I'm tired of this farce. Behold the fruits of sacrifice! You are prey to be consumed! Perish in flame's embrace! Go forth and sate your boundless hunger! Flame my servants rise. A fitting death. I shall see my wish fulfilled. You will know my rage. ash in your mouth. Let sweet sorrow into your heart. Behold the fruits of sacrifice. You are afraid to be consumed. Perish in flame's embrace. Go forth and sate your boundless hunger.
Oh.
Fulgent flame my servant's rise. Out of my sight!
Woo! Good fight. Vessels complete. The chain of events that led to this moment began with my error. When out of mercy I confined you here, now I break it and leave no trace of you behind. This is not over. I see you will not go peacefully. Even a cast-off would uphold his pride, though such an impulse must speak to the overwhelming arrogance of my other half. The name Hesperdos shall grow to eclipse yours. None shall remember their deeds of La Habrea once I fulfill Athena's ambition and bring Argenthonius this dream to life. You speak as if you care a whit for the boy. Why then do you cower behind him? There are some desires which must not be realized. Athena would see the world destroyed if it meant she could find hers in the ruins. As for Eos, he knows not what his wish would beget, a truth which would have hidden a truth which you have hidden from him. Do you truly believe a father's role is to deceive and manipulate? My wish? You would claim the name Hesphados and call yourself his father, yet you bind his mind and body in dark chains. Your words and your pride ring hollow. Athena wanted her son by her side, and her desires to return there. What wickedness is there in mending a broken family? Athena cared not for Aristonios beyond how he could serve her ends. You claim to be acting in his interest, but 'tis plain you are no different. As I ushered Athena to her end, I vowed that my sole mission in life would be to guide this star true. In service to that vow, I silenced the whispers of my heart. I could not nurture a son whilst an entire world looked to me for guidance. For that choice, I bear the responsibility. Yet he is still my son, and I'll not suffer you to seduce him with false hope. You, who not but the bitter dregs of Athena and I, the very worst of us. Mother, she, no, then who, how do I? Come back to us. I hear you. I owe you and Themis an apology. Athena, did you ever, and La Brea, I will have my say. How? His mind was mine. I can't explain. Yell's words reached me through the haze. They rang loud and clear. As did the words of another, in a voice much like yours, but resounding with truth. Wow, when did you master these bonds? Oh, we've endured much worse. You worthless, you... Ah! I see. It appears my failures have borne fruit after all. You did well, son. Where are we? With Hephaestus' essence contained in the crystal, we may safely return Erchthonios above, that he would bind Hephaestus with only half his senses intact. You quite understand his adeptness in the art of interment. It was hardly what I had in mind, but a feat deserving of praise nonetheless. I feel no trace of Hephaestus' poison in your mind, and for a blessing it appears your body is none the worse for wear. I made my way here as soon as I could. I no longer sense Hephaestus, and the force assailing Pandæmonium's barriers has ceased. Are we rid of him for good and all? I see. Despite his muddled senses, Erchthonios felt that to seal Hephaestus away was the proper course. It wasn't so noble as that. I only knew something had to be done, so I acted. La Habrea, was that how you dealt with Hephaestus in the past? Indeed, he was not but the parts of my memory and soul that I had cut away. A mass of ether without a material vessel, storing his essence within a crystal, was the most logical choice. On that matter, I believe the time has come for you to share the rest of your tale of Hephaestus' creation and Athena's end. I hear your words, but only vaguely, as if from under the surface of a deep pool. My mother wished to use me? I would hear the whole truth. I want to know what happened here and what drove Athena to act as she did. I'm ready. Athena's brilliance outshone us all. Even the other members of the wards of La Brea were as children in comparison. So dedicated to research was she that it was not unheard of for her to forget meals or even sleep. Her mind was ever grasping for knowledge, and it was in the endless search that she became obsessed with uncovering the secrets of life. You see, while we can conceive life in various forms, the means of creating a soul are beyond our ken. Similarly, though we can enhance and alter our physical vessels, we have ever been bound to them. Athena's purpose was to shatter these limitations, such limitations as we were not meant to surpass. She sought to enter the realm of the gods. Scarce few have the ability to comprehend what such a task entails, let alone the courage to attempt it. For most, the thought would be an idle fancy, considered once and then discarded. Not so for Athena. As leader of the Wards of La Brea, I spoke with her often about transcending our being. From an academic perspective, the challenge has plagued countless researchers through the ages. It was during these musings that I began to formulate a theory, a means by which a person could meld with a creation. The weakness of one would be mitigated by the strengths of the other, and the result could be something greater than we have ever imagined. Although it was but a theory, Athena insisted I develop it further, curious about every detail along the way. Our conversations became more frequent, and our platonic relationship grew into something much more. I take it I was born not too soon after. Just so. I believe she bore true affection for me, and was blind to her hidden intentions. When Pandæmonium was built and she requested to lead the researchers, I saw no reason to deny her. Even setting aside our relationship, her accomplishments as a scholar made her the obvious choice. However, in giving her Pandæmonium, I also gave her free rein to conduct whatsoever experiments she could devise. And when you found out what she was doing, you killed her. I made haste to Pandæmonium the moment I learned of these hidden chambers. I left Agdastis to keep watch over from Tartaros vestibule as I ventured deeper, knowing not what would await me. As for what occurred next, 'tis best to see with your own eyes. Is that me? You are well aware that our respect for our neighbors and helpers, the researchers of Pandæmonium, are not to be masked. Yet you stand before me with your face covered. What petty defiance is this? What indeed, so quick are you to rebuke me, though you yourself have not set foot in these halls since their inception? You must have known you could not conceal this from myself and Agdastis forever. As well you know that I cannot allow it to continue. I shall say this but once, release Eristhenos, else I shall have no choice but to strike you down. I would meet my end at the hands of none other. However, ere my time is come, I will have you know why of it. Then you will not desist. Then you will not desist. Once you understand what has driven me this far, you shall see that stopping was never an option. The feeling of one weighs little against the needs of the entire star. Of course, of that I am well aware, but you did not deign to descend from your lofty heights simply to lecture me as you would a child. You have an interest in my motivations. What possessed Athena, peerless researcher and mother to the son of the great La Habrea, to embark upon the path to her downfall? And mother to the son of the great La Habrea. History will demand an answer, but it is you who deserves one. Give me your hand, La Habrea. Oh, come on. Impossible. You bonded your souls? Aye, that the boundaries between us ceased to be. She offered me everything to be understood. I found myself unable to refuse. At that moment, my mind was a storm of questions, yet one roared the loudest. Did Athena ever truly love me? I am become the memory and mind. And I thee. Can you feel it? My heart, all that I am. Yes, as if it were my own. A fathomless desire to dissect the mysteries of life, to transcend our mortal flesh and bleed into a higher plane of existence. An unquenchable thirst for knowledge, not a single thought spared for another, for the star. How disappointing. Yet what is known cannot be unknown. You have beheld my life's work. Try as you might to excise the memory, the seed of desire remains, and when it takes root, you too shall be consumed by the selfsame fever. I will dig it out. I will dispense with the corruption in my soul ere your rotten insight spreads. 'Twas my weakness that let this wickedness fester, but never again today I cause the sight of fickle motion and abide in duty alone. Today I renounce all that I was and live only as La Habrea. Interesting. Thus did I forsake the part of myself that had been polluted by Athena, sealing it within a crystal. Never did I think I would one day face those memories made flesh. Forgive my bluntness, but your actions bordered on insanity. To go to such lengths to escape your memories, you nearly rewrote your very existence. Rest assured, the change did not go unnoticed by our colleagues in the convocation. Egorim and Emic Selk in particular made plain the suspicions they harbored. As well they should have. That you escaped with your life was nothing short of a miracle. Why didn't you destroy the crystal then and there? Did you think to one day make use of the knowledge it contained? I will not deny such considerations played into my decision, but my main motivation was fear. I had never attempted such a feat before. The crystal was my sole recourse. Should something go awry with the remainder of my soul, in hindsight, to cling to it was a mistake born of doubt. Athena must have anticipated that I would resort to such measures, and prepared a vessel beforehand that would accept the dregs of my soul. Hephaestus doubtless believed he was performing his duty as a husband and father should, yet in truth he was but a puppet being pulled to and fro by Athena's desires. His goal was not to raise himself high. He thought only of seeing his dear Athena live again, that she might finish what she began. Yet, for all that, he and I were alike. We yet shared a fatal flaw, you see. Our need to control blinded us to other perspectives. While I was in the thrall to Asphados, you called out to me. What say you now? Does La Habrea speak true? Yes, and now it's your turn to do the same. What does your heart tell you? That's such a Kingdom Hearts response. Right, yes, and now it's your turn to do the same. I just want you to know one thing. Did you truly believe that hiding the truth was best for me? Even knowing how I felt about my mother? The La Brea I know had a fatal flaw after all. I'm still not convinced. I have said all that I can say. Now it is for you to choose to believe me, or not. The La Brea I know holds duty above all else. I would sooner prostrate myself before an erupting volcano than place my fickle emotions in his path. When you return to the surface, you'll doubtless don the mask once more. So before we climb out of this forsaken pit, I suppose I should say, Thank you, Hephaestus. Alright, getting there. Hephaestus was far more than an imitation of La Brea, he was quite literally a part of him. But La Brea to me is a man who thinks of naught but his duty. By casting aside the burden that Hephaestus represented, he shall become ever more himself in a way. I have said all that needs to be said. From this moment forward, I pledge that my heart shall not lead me astray. I've heard enough. There is more I would yet discuss, but we should first return to Pandæmonium's gates. I'll gather my thoughts on the way. We have regained complete control of the facility, but it shall take some time yet until things are in working order again. Athena viewed Erchthonios as the ideal test subject. Hephaestus's research must have been very nearly complete to seek him out like he did. I owe you an apology, Yo. It was due to my own inexperience that Hephaestus was so easily able to take hold of my mind. I also owe you thanks. If you and Themis hadn't chosen to brave the chaos occurring in Pandæmonium, then I would have never known La Brea's story, my father's story. 'Twas a tale I too was fascinated to hear. I very much look forward to speaking with Azim upon my return. I cannot help but wonder how much of this she foresaw. I am afraid I cannot allow that, Elidibus. So long as you retain control of Pandæmonium, there is work to be done. But of course, I shall first free the remaining warders and restore this place to its former glory. Using the facilities in Tartaros, we should be able to reverse the changes made to their bodies and minds. I shall stay behind to oversee the process. That is well, but I must yet learn why I was considered the key to Hephaestus's experiments and how he intended to revive Athena. Such questions are best left unanswered. In fact, I forbid the pursuit of that knowledge. The boundary between man and creation shall never again be crossed. And I intend to destroy the crystal containing Hephaestus's essence, that this mistake never again repeats. I see no reason to gainsay your judgment. There is yet the matter of your crystal, however. Truth be told, I had not considered its origin until I saw the one containing Hesphados' ether. I was struck by how wholly different they were. There is another? While imbuing a crystal with memories is a simple process, storing a message, a warning even, would be something altogether more complex. This also means that someone besides the present company and Asm was aware of the plot unfolding within Pandæmonium. Then why would they not make themselves known even now? No threats remain. Perhaps it was one of the other warders. We shall question them after they are freed. That task may take some time, a resource I'd rather not steal more of from you. Return at your leisure and we will share our results then. You've done more than enough for the time being. I am of the same mind. Leave those loose ends to us and continue upon your journey. Or if you are so inclined, take a much needed repose. This talk of journeys smacks of Asm. As well it should. She has pledged to keep moving until she has seen every corner of this world. Okay. So that's who I take after. If you do find yourself with a spare moment, you might bring that crystal of yours to La Habrea. He may be able to offer further insight. Until then, my friend. I look forward to your returning with the crystal, but worry not. I shall try my level best to starve off loneliness while you are gone. As you may have noticed during our battle, La Habrea's mask grounds me when I've transformed. It is said that we manifest in a way that reflects our innermost selves. I had thought that mask a symbol of the chains that bound my heart, but recent events have caused me to reconsider that assumption. Crystal that hangs from Erythonos' waist was a gift from me, made in the hopes that it would spark growth in the aptitude for magic. 'Tis plain he no longer requires it, but I seek no reason he cannot wear it for a while longer. Okay. Wish I could use my mount. I wonder if the... Wait. Is it cheaper? No. Good to know. Gets bad when you start worrying about how much teleporting costs in this game. Oh, it's raining. Sunru seems quite invested in this particular wall. Okay, back to what I was doing. Why, if it isn't Yo, excuse me if I'm not my usual chipper self, but we have not been without our difficulties in your absence. You see, communication with the airship Professor Claudine commissioned for his search was lost some time ago, and now we have quite lost track of where he might be. And to make matters worse, Nemeji has just sent word of an unusually large amount of energy coming from somewhere within the ethereal sea. I was just on my way to the elitist scope, in fact. Please, you must come with me. Oh. I see. What is that? Is it real? Why? If is that whatever danger visits the world, you are never far behind? Why is it that when danger is around, you are never far behind? There we go. And you two, Professor Claudine's assistants, I take it. As you arrived before, I take it you are involved in this. I would thank you to furnish me with an explanation. While the research summary you submitted to the forum gave us no cause for concern, these details are alarming. The professor's last message indicated he was only on his way to Aslia, but we know not whether he ever reached his destination. A rash endeavor, even for Claudine, but he has ever allowed the thrill of discovery to cloud his better judgment. We have no recourse but to entreat Ishgard's aid in searching for him. As for that unsightly fortress which materialized in the ethereal sea, Pandæmonium was it? It cannot be left alone. For the time being, information regarding this matter must be strictly controlled so as to minimize panic. We will gather those with knowledge of the ethereal sea and continue monitoring it for the further irregularities. You two, submit a detailed report to the forum at once. At present, we have far more questions than answers. Nevertheless, I would ask for your assistance at such a time that our investigation has concluded. Very good. Now, if you will excuse me, I must apprise the forum of what has occurred here. By Master Fortran's reaction to all this, one would think he is quite used to leading others through events of world-shattering import. With the professor absent, there's little for us to do but organize our papers and keep the laboratory clean. I suppose it could be worse. Just when you need him the most, Professor Claudine remains unaccounted for. He even brought the crystal with him, but are left with scarce few straws to grasp at. While I am but a lowly assistant, even I can see that our two current problems are likely related. The same party or phenomena may be responsible for both. Conversely, I see now that my unexperienced imagination failed to do Pandæmonium's pitiless pyres justice. I can only wonder if the facility itself traversed the ages. Did the creations within do the same? What of the keywords? But answers to these questions shall come in time. I am sure for now I must do as Master Fortune asks and write that report. As for you, Yo, pray get what rest your responsibilities will allow. When next we call upon you, I wager we shall need you in prime condition. I shall do as Master Fortune commanded and compile our research before sending it before the forum. Paperwork of all matter has been my forte since before I was even a student. Yo, may I have a moment? If you would be so inclined, I would very much like to hear the story of your battles in Abyssos and Tartaros. While I have no difficulty producing reports for the forum with general summation of events, I could use some help with the finer details, for the record, you know. For the record, you say. Come now, be honest and admit it's to state your own curiosity. I've seen the tomes you've left scattered throughout about the laboratory. Bestiaries of creatures both real and imagined. I will not, and I dare say should not, deny any intellectual stake in the matter, but surely Yo will understand that a thorough recounting will help Professor Claudine's research as well. Now then, whenever you're ready. Fascinating. As you say, the savage creation you encountered in Abyssos bears more than a few similarities to the carbuncle. Could it be that the arcane entities we know had their origins in ancient times? I mean, probably. Just as curious was your story of the keyword who was melded with the tree of legend. Where do the limits of Theos creation process lie? I wonder, and how do such creatures even survive once melded? And as expected, you cannot help yourself from asking ever more questions. What purpose would such knowledge serve? Oh, Rusenhow, one day you too shall develop the keen instincts of a researcher. Then you shall understand that it is impossible not to wonder, once the spark of imagination has been struck. Yo's stories have already set several theories stirring in my mind, and I feel even more bubbling just under the surface. Take Haspedos, for example. It would not be a great leap to assume that he studied at length the regenerative and death-defying properties of the phoenix, and that is just the tip of the proverbial berg. You are free to exercise your imagination all you like, but need I remind you, these reports are meant to be submitted to Master Fortune himself. I implore you to exercise restraint. Professor Claudine would have encouraged me, you know. He thrives on theories and an imagination, but I do understand your point, Resinald. If I were to submit such a report to Master Fortune, I would soon thereafter be forced to write a formal apology. He doesn't look like someone you'd want to make mad. I was hoping you would be more supportive, yo. Very well, I shall include only conjecture that is directly relevant to the context of the report. Now I should set ink to paper and let the wonder of theory guide my hand, within reason, of course. Yet I cannot help but dream even larger. There are no bounds to what the mind can imagine, and if there are, let us both strive to find them, yo. Choices matter. Alright. I shall do as Master Forchak commanded and compile our research before sending it to the forum. Paperwork of all manner has been my forte. Oop. Already read that. And sometimes I think I should have stopped Professor Claudine from departing on his journey, even if I had to resort to force. He is a brilliant researcher, to be sure, but at times like these, I am reminded of how difficult he can be. While he is usually calm and collected in his methods, once he catches scent of a new discovery, he quite loses sight of his surroundings, and his opinions often become tractable. I am sure that he departed upon his journey in high spirits, but I am afraid that his extreme focus might have made him throw caution to the winds. Even so, he is not one to falter in the face of unforeseen obstacles, though I admit it becomes ever more difficult as the moments pass by. I must have faith that he will return unharmed. Yo, I had a feeling you would arrive soon. Urgent tidings always seem to carry you in their wake after all. And Master Forchant recently sent word regarding his investigation. It seems he's uncovered information regarding Professor Claudine's whereabouts and the sudden appearance of Pandæmonium in the Ethereal Sea. We would do well to meet him at once. If you have no objections, I ask that you proceed to the Elitist forthwith. I shall make the necessary arrangements and join you shortly. Do. I'm glad to see you made it back alive, thanks in no small part to the Ragnarok. We'll take immense pride in tuning her up for you. I thank you for answering my summons with haste. Let us forego formalities and jump straight to the heart of the matter. Namely, the whereabouts of Professor Claudine, who has not been seen since his ill-advised journey to Aslia. A subsequent expedition, can't say that word, discovered an airship in the vicinity of Chemical Research Facility. Although the vessel clearly belongs to the professor, he was nowhere to be found. There were signs that someone, perhaps the man himself, had forced their way into the facility, so this trail was duly followed. However, the trail led nowhere, in the most literal sense. 'Twas almost as if an entire sector of the facility had been wrested from existence. Further investigation confirmed the expedition party's suspicions. On an entire sector of Aslia has been teleported elsewhere. Teleported to where? We believe that its destination was none other than the Ethereal Sea, here where its Allegan facilities reconstituted as the hulls of Pandæmonium, to great success, as you can see. So that means Professor Claudine is in there, in that monstrous fortress. That is our leading theory. We are certain enough, at least, to risk sending you into its depths in search of the missing man. We are certain enough, at least, to risk sending you into the depths to search for the missing man. Okay. Yet before we do, there's another pressing matter. While Pandæmonium may appear firmly sealed, an unknown entity was recently spied crawling forth from its gates. We observed its behavior with the elidoscope to our honor, and to our horror, witnessed it gorging upon the surrounding aether like a ravenous beast. What? It must be stopped. The ethereal sea harbors the souls of the departed. 'Tis the wellspring from which all creatures are born. If its flow were disturbed, life itself might cease to be. Precisely. Its safety must be our first priority. Rid us of this menace, Yo. Then we will be at liberty to investigate what wicked machinations are afoot. This memory crystal was recovered from Claudine's airship. Take it with you. It may yet provide some insight into the enigma of Pandæmonium. Without Themis, there will be no army of phantom warriors. I realize you are more than capable in combat, but are you certain you'll be alright? Themis isn't the only one who can summon our illusionary allies. He isn't? Why, of course, I should have known someone of your talents would master even the ancients' arcane arts. Apologies for my failure of imagination. Once we are freed of the looming specter of Pandæmonium, you must promise to share your knowledge for the sake of thorough reports, of course. In the meanwhile, I shall focus my efforts on providing you with what information and support I can. I shall gather researchers from the confluence to construct a means to convey you to your destination. The rest is in your hands. The ninth circle. I cannot. I am 9 points away. Well, in truth, my days are stuffed to the brim, but what with all the record taking and document fetching. But worry not, the knowledge that the realm's survival hinges on my efforts sustains me. At this depth, the ethereal sea itself poses little danger, but we know not what else awaits you. I shall monitor your health from a distance, that we might help leap to your aid should a crisis be at hand. Okay. I'm gonna call this YouTube video here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.